Hello, hello, hello! Welcome to another I Couldn't Not with Ellen Therese. Here I am today to talk to you about what brings me joy, right? So back in the day, like a year ago when I first started doing these videos, I posted on Instagram like, hey, DM me with some questions. And just a little while ago, I actually looked through those DMs because I didn't realize that I wasn't getting the notifications for those. And I found a question from Hannah Weinberg Kinsey, oh, my Hannah Joe. And she asked me, what brings me joy? And I thought that of all the things that I could talk about today and all the things that my energy was going towards today in the universe, it would be what brings me joy. So the first thing that I have to say about joy is that it's a choice. It's very, very hard to go through this world and not take everything as a personal attack and not take everything as something that has to do with you. But the reality of the situation is that the world is a reflection of you. Therefore, everything you're seeing and perceiving and experiencing, right? Everything that's happening like to you is something that you are seeing through your lens, right? So if we can start deleting the fact that like people are doing stuff to us, right? And they're really just doing their own thing, right? Then when things happen to us, we can choose to step back, take a second, come back and react, right? As opposed to just reacting in the moment, you can take a second and then respond, maybe is a better way to use that. Instead of reacting, we're going to respond. And so what I've learned about joy is that a lot of people like, oh, this ruined my day, this tore my day apart, this ruined my life, like blah, 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 whatever. Like there are things that will tear you down for a very long time. I'm not saying that you need to be joyful all the time and that joy is like the only answer and that there's no way you can be mad when you have joy. Like, no, there are things that make me really angry. There are things that make me really sad. There are things that make me really disappointed in this fucking world. But at the end of the day, it's my choice to look at all of it and then be grateful for it and then and seek joy the next day, right? Because the lie that we're all told is that like if you find love and you do love, you know, and you find a significant other, then like everything else falls into place, right? We find that magic person. But here's the secret. The magic person that you have to find and like fall in love with is you. Like you have to fall in love with yourself and you have to fall in love with how you do things and you have to truly start loving yourself before you're able to love anyone else. And I know that sounds like something that everybody says all the time, but like finding joy in your life every single day just means being brave enough to be open to attack, right? It's courage, it's kindness, it's bravery. The ability to be open to attack is vulnerability. And that equals bravery, right? And when we're brave about people coming at us and we stay confident with ourselves and we stay confident in our joy and our love, then no one can come at us, right? And therefore, we're not reacting to things that are happening. We're just responding to what's happening around us, right? And one of my favorite quotes that I found is, if you are the sky, right? Then everything else is just the weather. So imagine that, right? You are the sky. You get to stay right here. And everything else that's happening is just the fucking weather, right? Just let it go. Just let it go by. And figure out, like, just like, woo, like, the sky doesn't go like, oh no, there's a tornado coming. I better stop. Like, the sky's like, oh, Mr. Tornado. Okay, how's it going? Yeah, all right, Rex Mouses, whatever, you know? Like, there's no, there's no, like, oh, I can't do it today, you know? And like, I'm there every day. Every day I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to do this, right? And I respond to myself and I say, what is it that you're feeling right now? Why are you feeling that? Why don't you want to get up? Why don't you want to do this, right? And you just be with yourself, right? So things that bring me joy are literally things that are my favorite color. Making lists. I like making lists and I like setting up my calendar the way that I like it and I like color coding it and I like writing my planner. Now, I want to do it every day, but I have not gotten to the point of doing it every day. Things that give me joy. I love reading. I love hanging out with people. I love being in deep talks. I love helping people. One of my favorite things, and one of the things that gives me the most joy, I think, is when when I get to share my energy and I get responses back, you know what I mean? So I've sort of gotten to the point with these videos where I'm realizing that this is one of the things that brings me joy. Um, so I'm going to start doing it just because it gives me joy and just because I think I can help someone, anyone. And I think it's me maybe more than I'm helping because I'm sending myself the videos that I needed when I was younger. And hopefully they'll hit other people. So find what brings you joy. Find the little things that, like, you know, those moments where like just find those moments, find those good moments of like looking at someone and saying like, your scarf is so cute today, and having that, like, that little light up that happens inside of them, right? Or like someone coming up to you and saying like, you know, like, oh, you look really good today, or like stuff like that, like, or like compliments that I love because I'm words of affirmation, right? Instead of appearance wise, it's like, you are super funny, or like, you are very charming, or like, you are a light, you have so much energy, you are so positive, right? And these are things that like beautiful people have said to me, and I just want to continue to send these beautiful messages back out into the world because I think there's so many people that felt the way that I still do sometimes, which is that we aren't allowed to have joy, that we aren't allowed because we're not safe, right? And when you're raised by people who don't make you feel safe in your joy and safe in your vulnerability and safe in your emotions, then you start feeling like you're not allowed to be joyful, you're not allowed to be angry, you're not allowed to be sad, you're not allowed to be anything. So if we take anything away from this video today and my ramblings and my wonderfulness, whatever, what I want you to know is that I want to help everyone have more joy. So find those moments where you're in the car and your favorite song comes on and you blast it really high and you just get to be in the energy of that song, right? Or like when your best friend calls you and you get to talk to them on the phone, even if it's for 2 minutes, and they just get to be like, hey, I miss you and I love you. Joy moments, like when you're walking down the street, like just look around for other people's joy, because the universe is sending you signs all the time. The universe is always telling us what's going on, what's happening, whatever, right? Like I'm walking around and I see like a little squirrel go by, and that's joy. It's like, oh, look at him just like living his little life. Like, or like a bird going by, or like making noises, you know, like just listening to everything that's happening around you. Like you're not going to miss any of the joy if you start looking for it, you know? In the world, that is the way that our brains work. The way that we program our brains to work is how they work. So if you are constantly looking for all of the negatives, you're going to find all the negatives. If you're constantly looking for all the positives, you're going to find all the positives. So start switching your mindset and start telling yourself that joy is okay. Start telling yourself that joy is available to you. Start telling yourself that you are worthy of joy, that you are worthy of joy and you are worthy of happiness, and that these things don't have to be based off of success. These things don't have to be based off of what we have, right? I have the least amount of money I've ever had in my life. The makeup I'm wearing, like, is, you know, there's so many things I could tell you about today that could equal me being unhappy, right? But instead, I'm choosing to focus on the fact that you know, I have the ability to buy coffee even though I don't have that much money. I have the ability to put makeup on even though it's old makeup, right? Or like I have the ability to like love myself with stuff, you know, even though like I have nowhere to go. Like even though we have to wear a mask places, like I still have people that I can see or FaceTime and blah blah whatever. So just please world, whomever you are listening, start looking for joy, because if we all find our joy and we all just like stay joyful together, I don't think there's anything we can't do. So join me today in smiling, okay? And take my trick here, okay? On my way to work, every day if I'm in the car. I have a 2-minute drive to work. That's why this is a little ridiculous. But I literally will sit in the car and I will, the whole 2-minute drive to work, I go, and you just smile. You just force your face to smile. And then what's funny about this is that when you force your face to smile, your brain doesn't actually know the difference between a real smile and a fake smile. And so what it does is it sends triggers and serotonin and like dopamine or whatever it is to your brain, and it's like, hey, we're happy, we're smiling. So if you're ever feeling nervous, if you're ever feeling, I look like a crazy person, if you're ever feeling nervous, if you're ever feeling like disappointed, and like you're not sort of like ready to go into place, I know they do like those confidence poses and like stuff like that, but like legitimately smiling, like just smiling until it makes you laugh is such a good secret. So, sorry, my knees are starting to hurt. So let's smile like idiots for 10 seconds. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 3, 2, 1. And you see how like it just makes you laugh because you feel so ridiculous, and then you're like, okay, yes. So yeah, start seeking joy. Start finding moments where you can create joy. Start just accepting that life is joyful, and that it's okay to feel joyful, and that it's okay to be vulnerable, and that it's okay to feel safe being kind. Let's start a new revolution, okay? Instead of powerful men, right? Let's be powerful and kind women. Powerfully kind. Together. Yeah. Okay. I have talked enough, and maybe not enough for some of you. So please give me more questions. Give me more things. I have a couple more videos that I have to go through in the next couple weeks, but I think I'm back. I think I'm back to doing this. I think I'm back to sending joy out into the world, and yeah, so what brings me joy? Theater, friends, boyfriend, acting, singing, coffee, music, blankies, crocheting, painting by number, watching Disney movies, playing video games. Like, literally everything gives me joy, and that's something that I need to start being grateful for. I need to start being grateful that I can see joy now in all of these situations. So please be joyful, and be grateful with me. Find one thing that you're grateful for today, and I think I'm grateful for myself. I'm grateful for my ability to get past this fear of not wanting to do this, right? I don't feel worthy enough to do these videos for you guys, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I think it's important. So, this was another I couldn't not with Ellen Therese. I literally could not. I can't not. I cannot not. So, we will see you next time we have a video. Let's not have a schedule. I think I'm just going to go based off of whenever my day off is. So, next week, Thursday, maybe, and then we'll find out what we're doing. Okay, so yeah, I love you all. Smile!